I'm Kate Brown. I'm actually both my bronze and my silver Duke of Edinburghs, and currently I'm working towards my gold level. And I'm also joined with Julian Beale, who has completed his bronze Duke of Edinburgh and he's working towards his silver. We are both part of the Sanday Duke of Edinburgh group, which is in Orkney, which is a group of islands off the north coast of Scotland.
One of the great things about doing DofE is that there is an endless choice of what to do in the skills, physical and volunteering sections of the award.
For my gold level, I was able to make lots of my own choices that I wanted to take part in. I have trained to become a volunteer lifeguard for our island's community pool. I've played the fiddle with a local traditional group, and I've participated in an intense fitness class.
I also made my own choices. I chose to learn the basics of pottery. I kept fit at the gym, and I'm helping in the community gardens.
By making our own choices and sticking with them for many months, I believe we've gained many soft skills. For example, developing our confidence.
Showing new people that we can work with.
It gives us a chance to demonstrate our responsibility.
It encourages us to benefit others.
And it proves that we have qualities that are difficult to measure, like perseverance, reliability, and respect for others.
It also helps develop lifelong skills.
Our first question for you is, why do you consider Duke of Edinburgh programmes are important for young people?
Well, thanks, Kacey and Julian. I'm delighted to be here and to answer your questions. I think you've just outlined why it's important for young people, because in today's society, in global society, actually many of the skills that get us through life are not those that are easy to measure. They are things that are fundamentally important though: resilience, kindness, compassion, strategic thinking. All of the elements that you described there in terms of the experiences you have working together, working with others and working with your community for the Duke of Edinburgh Awards. I have always been a very big advocate because I think it gives you a wider perspective. It gives you that wider link that's beyond your family, beyond your school or any, if you've got personal interests that you're involved in. And it kind of opens your eyes to some of the challenges that other people face, some of the challenges that perhaps you face, and you learn how to overcome. And for me, I think that is actually what a rounded education is about. It's what a rounded citizen is about. And I'm always hugely honoured when I meet people who've gone through Duke of Edinburgh to just see and hear how strong that community payback, that personal resilience, that reflection and the learning has been. And even when you meet people who've done it 20 years ago, 30 years ago, more than that, actually they can still relive their Duke of Edinburgh experience and they can still be very clear about what they've learned and how they took that throughout their life. So that's a huge benefit for me and why I'm a great supporter.
Yeah, thank you. We have been very fortunate that we live in a small, supportive community, and everyone that has helped us has given their time and resources freely, enabling every one of us to choose an individual and challenging program. However, for example, I might have had to enroll at a night school for my pottery or travel on public transportation to go to the gym. One of the most challenging aspects of DofE is undertaking the expedition with others. We are very fortunate that our community has helped fund our fantastic kit store and that no participant has had to fund or purchase kit. My question for you is, compared to academic subjects, do you think that there are enough resources to support other young people to get the most out of their wider achievement opportunities?
Thanks, Julian. I think that's a great question. It's one of the things that certainly years and years ago was a barrier, absolutely a barrier for many young people, and it still remains so today. So I think it's great that your community has supported that so that those expenses are not incurred. That's not a barrier for anyone participating. I know that there are lots of grants that local authorities, such as Orkney Council, can give to people who apply for them if they want to participate. But I'm also really aware that many schools have created a similar system to that you described. So quite a lot of schools have got a kit that actually people contribute to. Folk who are leaving school at the end of 5th or 6th year leave their stuff behind and say others can use it. Or charities that have sponsored it. I worked with two very wonderful philanthropic colleagues in the past in the Northeast, where their family actually donated money for equipment and also for a celebration event for the young people when they got the Duke of Edinburgh Awards. So I think that absolutely, if we want a parity of esteem between a qualification, which it really is, and the achievement of the Duke of Edinburgh Awards, then I think schools, local authorities, community groups and others should ensure that that isn't a barrier. I think it's not so much of a barrier as it used to be back 20, 30 years ago, and Duke of Edinburgh themselves have helped support that. But I still think there's more that could be done, because you're right, I don't want anyone not doing the Duke of Edinburgh because they can't afford it.
Yeah, thank you. I've applied for university this year, and I'm sure that many of my Duke of Edinburgh experiences will stand me in good stead to cope with the demands of studying and living away from home. I've had to dig deep at times to persevere when I have been out of my comfort zone and when the going has been tough. Like on my silver expedition, when the wind was gusting so strongly that we could barely stand up, let alone cycle. And on my bronze expedition, when I was so tired from walking that all I wanted to do was just stop and sleep. I'm sure that my gold level paddleboarding expedition this year will present me with even harder. Completing my Duke of Edinburgh has been a great achievement for me personally, and I hope, and I did get the chance to discuss this when I go for interviews for university. Our final question for you is, how can Education Scotland champion awards like Duke of Edinburgh, encourage young people to get the opportunity to benefit from similar skills and experiences like Julian and I had? And how can Education Scotland ensure that this wider achievement is acknowledged by employers and places of further education?
Thanks, Kacey, and I was smiling when you were relaying some of the challenges you had on your expeditions. There's always funny stories, but the resilience that everyone shows to get through it is really heartening to hear. Education Scotland, we try to promote through doing things like this, try to be very visible in physically showing our support. That helps head teachers to see that Education Scotland supports the delivery and the skills that are delivered for young people in Duke of Edinburgh. We work very closely with the Duke of Edinburgh family to promote, to go to head teacher events, to talk to school staff about the importance of the Duke of Edinburgh Award. And indeed, I've been involved in many of the awards ceremonies, not only to young people, but also to schools and local authorities who decide to take it on as a major programme. So we're trying to promote that. We're also, through some of our communication, trying to put out there stories about young people and about their experience with Duke of Edinburgh, so that people see that we fully support and see it as an important place that it holds in Scottish education. And we are represented at many things with universities, colleges, FE, employers, and certainly myself, my team, and through the work we do in partnership with the Duke of Edinburgh, take the opportunity to encourage people to find out more about the programme, to find out more about the awards, and to support and recognise the achievement it is when people are either going into employment or going to university, as you said, or college, that actually that parity of esteem is really clear, because the skills it gives you are significant. So we'll certainly continue to try our best at Education Scotland to promote, to celebrate, and to widen people's understanding of the experiences you both had.